Namo Narayan, Devatma. Welcome.
Namo Narayan Atmalila. Thank you so much for having me back.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And I like to talk with you about Yoga Nidra for sleep. You're Devatma from Tripura Yoga, and you have your own YouTube channel, Tripura Mandala. You also have your own Tripura Yoga, where you give all kinds of workshops, especially Yoga Nidra, because you started this 10 years ago. You also write yourself a lot of Yoga Nidras, and you recently started Tripura TV. Well, I would like to talk with you about Yoga Nidra for sleep. Can you tell why is a short Yoga Nidra more effective than a nap?
Oh, why is a short Yoga Nidra more effective than a nap? I really like that. That's a great question. And I think then it helps maybe to understand more fully one of the key points of Yoga Nidra. To answer this question, we should understand maybe the first point, at least the first point that I teach my students in the teacher's training courses, which is that Yoga Nidra is a practice of relaxation and awareness. And the principle here is that by remaining aware, you can become more deeply relaxed than when unconscious. And there's a correlation between awareness and relaxation, just like there's a correlation between a lack of awareness and tension. So we are carrying tension unconsciously, habitually. And so when you can remain aware and expand your awareness around the body, then you can achieve much deeper relaxation. And so in this way, in just a short Yoga Nidra session, you can get much deeper relaxation by staying aware and rotating your awareness around the body, rotating your awareness with the breath, and in the way calming these parts of your being as well.
Great. Here you see Swami Satyananda. He tells about relaxation. Relaxation does not mean sleep. Relaxation means to be blissfully happy. It has no end. I call bliss absolute relaxation. Sleep is a different matter. Sleep gives only mind and sense relaxation. Bliss relaxes the Atma, the inner self. That is why in Tantra, Yoga Nidra is the doorway to Samadhi. And can you tell me, Devatma, why is relaxation so important in Yoga Nidra?
When you're relaxed, you're naturally, aren't you? When we are tense, we become uptight and we don't know how to act, or we behave irrationally. But when you're relaxed, you just act naturally. You don't even question how to act. So relaxation returns you to your true nature. And this idea of having a true nature, we could say then we have an individual nature, which is our prakriti, your nature, which is your physical constitution. And this is different in everybody. You have to know your own prakriti through just becoming very sensitive and to not only the foods you eat, but just the different environment that you're in and things that might trigger or upset or calm or relax you, becoming aware to all of that. That's your physical nature, your prakriti, right? That Ayurveda talks a lot about. And then there is your Atma Swarupa, which is your spiritual nature. And your Atma Swarupa, these are things like the qualities of your natural state of being, things like bliss, things like joy, contentment, serenity, tranquility. And we mistake oftentimes these things for the objects of the senses. And although it's true, Swami Satyananda used to say like this, he would say, yes, chocolate is sweet, a rose does smell good, but bliss, joy, contentment, happiness. These are qualities of yourself, not the objects of the senses. And so relaxation returns us to your natural state. And in your natural state, you can release all that tension, you can release all that stress, and just experience those soul qualities of contentment and bliss and joy that are always there, always there. We just have to reduce the distractions of the ego mind and the emotional mind, and that bliss is already there.
You wrote a lot of Yoga Nidras for insomnia. Can you tell me a bit about Yoga Nidra and help for people with insomnia?
This is great. You've given a lot of really great information here. This is a wonderful summary of a lot of what I've already taught in a lot of the courses and workshops that we've been doing the last couple of years. But as your audience is reading this, I would like to also add that Yoga Nidra for insomnia is so useful because this is a technique. The technique itself has power. And if you just do the technique, it yields the results, right? It's like taking a pill. You take a pill, you're going to get the prescribed effect. You do Yoga Nidra, you're going to relax. And so it's not only the facilitator. Yes, of course, the facilitator and their voice and their pacing and their confidence and all of this, of course, it's going to have a difference. But it's kind of hard to do Yoga Nidra wrong, actually. The technique itself is so rock solid. And it's a scientific, systematic approach to relaxation. And here's what I mean by that, is that we are starting with the gross layers of our being, the physical body, and then we're working our way inward to the more subtle levels of our being. The breath comes next, and then the mind itself we address in the deeper stages of Yoga Nidra. And so by going from gross to subtle, you are gradually, gently achieving relaxation over time. And instead of expecting yourself to just fall asleep all at once, we achieve deeper and deeper stages and states of relaxation. So then even if you don't fall asleep, you're still going to be so much more deeply relaxed and will get therefore more rest than if you were just tossing and turning all night.
Yeah, we have brainwaves. And can you tell a little bit what is happening when you are undergoing a Yoga Nidra?
We've seen we can chart out sleep as going through these different levels of brain waves. You know, some people would think, oh, it's probably pretty linear, right? Most people think, oh, you probably start off up here at beta or gamma, beta, and you go down through alpha, then theta, then delta, right? And then when you wake up, you come back up. That's not true at all. That throughout the night, we go down, then up, and then deeper, then up, and then there's REM, and it's not at all like you might suspect it is. And so when we do Yoga Nidra first, then instead of starting off here in beta, you're actually starting here in alpha. Any relaxation technique, including meditation, will bring you into alpha state pretty quickly. The key, the trick is to stay awake in meditation as you go deeper into theta and delta. And we would even say Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the ultimate highest Samadhi, is just 0 hertz, when there is no brain activity, but the consciousness is still present. There's still wakefulness presence. By starting off in alpha with Yoga Nidra, you're now going to sleep much more deeply. You're going to go deeper into sleep. This is going to help you to also stay asleep longer. Not everybody has insomnia. Some people, they can sleep fine, but then they might get woken up by something, maybe just 2 hours later, and they can't go back to sleep. So there's, different types of sleeping disorders. And Yoga Nidra really is a godsend for all of them. For the insomniac who can't fall asleep, having this kind of technique that in and of itself is powerful enough to help you actually fall asleep is extremely helpful. It's a godsend for insomniacs. But it will also help you achieve deeper, longer sleep as well. So it will also help for other types of sleeping disorders. And then when you wake up, you slept deeper with uninterrupted sleep for so many hours. You're so much more well rested. You have more energy. And you can also address whatever issues and problems there are in your life that's keeping you from sleeping at night. Because otherwise it creates a vicious cycle. And this is where actually Yoga Nidra for insomnia really shines, because it doesn't really matter what exactly the issue is. Anytime that there's a major crisis in our life, whether it's to our health or to our relationship or to our finances or whatever it may be, one of the first things that impacted is what? We can't sleep. And then that just exacerbates the problem, because now you can't sleep, you can't get the rest you need. And so now tomorrow you're drained, you can't address your challenges adequately in life, and the problem just gets worse. Yoga Nidra can really help to break that vicious cycle, because by now getting the rest you need, getting the sleep you need, being able to sleep, to be able to reliably fall asleep, this is going to now help you to be able to overcome the sources and challenges of whatever you're going through much more easily, because you're getting that deep psychological stress relief.
Yeah, 3 steps to Yoga Nidra for sleep. First, the body scan, and then focus on the points of contact between the body and the bed. And then the mental alternate nostril breathing while counting down.
We can just simplify it down into these 3 most basic components. 3 is a number that most people, you can remember 3 things, right? So body scan, points of contact, and mental alternate nostril breathing. When you have done a Yoga Nidra a few times, then you can very easily memorize this sequence for the body scan. So body scan, the way that we do it at Tripura Yoga and on the YouTube channel, Tripura Mandala, is we start at right hand thumb, then we go through all the 5 fingers, then hand, and then lower arm up like this. And then we do the left side, then top down. And it's a pattern that you can very easily memorize. So after you've done this pattern, you can memorize this sequence and lead yourself through Yoga Nidra for sleep at night. And that way, if you're in some kind of profession where, you can't maybe always have access. I know, for example, a lot of stewardesses for the airline companies, they'll have to sleep odd hours. They might just be given like, okay, you've got to just go take your nap now. You need to go sleep right now. Now is your turn. And they need to be able to just sleep. So something like this can help them, but maybe you cannot listen to it out loud for other reasons. Maybe people have partners in the same room with them and you can't listen to something out loud. You don't like sleeping with headphones on. Well, you can memorize these 3 steps. So body scan, as we already mentioned, focusing on the points of contact between the body and the bed. You can go individually through all the points of contact, of which there are 13 primary points of contact. Back of the head, right shoulder blade, right elbow, right hand, right buttock, right calf muscle, left calf muscle, right heel, left heel. However, you don't have to memorize these 13. You can just start to rotate your awareness around the points of contact. And here's what happens. When you focus on these points of contact, you start focusing on the heaviness of the body, the gravity of the earth weighing your body down. Your body starts feeling like it's sinking down into the earth. And this helps you to release that last little bit of muscular tension you might be carrying with you, and to just surrender the physical body. So by the end of these two, 1 and 2, the physical body should be, for all intents and purposes, asleep. Meaning that the physical body is so completely, totally relaxed. You're not tensing or tightening or clenching any muscles anywhere. And so the body is asleep. Now we start to put the mind asleep. And we partner the mind with the breath, because this creates a positive feedback loop. When we start to unite the mind with the breath, then the breath starts to calm down. As the breath calms down and slows down and becomes deep and rhythmical, it helps the mind to calm down and to slow down and to become more soothing, to soothe the mind. And then as the mind becomes more soothed and calm and slows down, guess what? The breath slows down. So it's creating this positive feedback loop. It results in very deep relaxation. If you can actually stay awake for 108 full breaths, meaning you didn't lose count and you stayed with each breath, you'll be in a much deeper state of relaxation than even sleep. If you can stay in that state for just 2 hours, you can get all the rest that you need. It's equivalent to 4 or 5 hours of unconscious sleep. But more than likely what's going to happen, and the reason that we choose such a high number is because is the mind revolts. The mind says, forget it, man. I'm not going to count all the way down from 108. And maybe you'll make it to 72 or something like this. And then next thing you know, it's morning time and you slept the whole night through.
Thank you very much, Devatma.
Yes, thank you as well. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.